L'actrice américaine Anne Heche a été déclarée morte ce vendredi 12 août à l'âge de 53 ans. Elle était connue pour avoir notamment joué dans les films Donnie Brasco et Volcano. Il y a une semaine, au volant de sa voiture propulsée à vive allure, elle percutait de plein fouet une maison. Les analyses ont révélé qu'elle avait consommé de la cocaïne et du fentanyl. Paix à son âme tourmentée depuis le plus jeune âge. Les tabloïds francophones ne mentionneront probablement pas le fait que Anne Heche était une victime d'inceste, née au sein d'une famille dite dysfonctionnelle. Son autobiographie, Call Me Crazy, appelez-moi folle, décrit les fâcheuses conséquences psychologiques de l'inceste paternel. Cette femme dissociée et possiblement programmée avait publiquement déclaré avoir été élevée dans une, je cite, famille de fous et souffrir d'un fractionnement de la personnalité. Voici maintenant une archive vidéo rare qui semble avoir été mise en ligne ces jours-ci par ABC News suite à l'accident mortel. Il s'agit d'un entretien avec Barbara Walters datant de septembre 2001, dans lequel Anne Heche parle de sa personnalité altère dite Celestia et de son père incestueux menant double vie.
Call Me Crazy by me.
As Anne Heche records her book on tape, an extraordinary story unfolds of abuse, tragedy, and insanity.
I stood at the top of the staircase. My breath was silent as I inhaled, closed my eyes, held out my arms, and leapt.
Anne, are you crazy?
I'm not crazy now. I lived a crazy life. I was raised in a crazy family, and it took me 31 years to get the crazy out of me.
You wrote in your book that you were insane. Those are your words. Insane for 31 years. You're 32 now.
I had another personality. I had a fantasy world that I escaped to. I called my other personality Celestia. I called the other world that I created for myself the fourth dimension. I believed I was from that world. I believed I was from another planet. I split off from myself. I was existing as two people. I could see into the future. I could heal people.
We had just begun our interview, the first time Anne has talked about her life when she was overcome with emotion. Take your time. All right? You want some water? Can we start with your childhood?
Yep.
We'll do it together, okay? Let me show you a picture.
Sure.
This is a family picture. It's a lovely picture, all of these smiling, attractive people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
On the surface, the Heche family was the epitome of the perfect American family. Deeply religious, 4 blonde-haired, blue-eyed children, a smiling mother, and a father in charge of the church choir. When you look at this, what do you see?
A bunch of lies. That family is a lying family.
The image was far from the reality. Don Heche, the choir director, was, according to Anne, an abusive father, chronically unemployed and leading a bizarre double life.
How can a mother not know that her child, her young baby girl, is being raped by her husband? How can a mother not know? When does a mother break the rules?
Any abuse is horrifying, but this was something very different. You talk about it in your book. Can you talk about it now?
Sure. I can tell you what I know.
Okay.
I believe I was sexually abused by my father from the time I was a very young girl, actually before I could speak, up until the time I was 12.
How did he abuse you?
In my memory,
Yes.
he raped me. He stuck his in my mouth. He fondled me. He put me on all fours and had sex with me.
When you were a toddler?
In my memory, yes. My father would always undress in front of me, beckon me to bed as if I was his lover. I remember entering the bed with him many times.
Did your mother know?
I can't say whether or not my mother knew.
You never told her?
I did not tell her until I was in my 20s. I had herpes from the time I was a very young girl.
Because he was entering your mouth?
Yes, that's my belief. I remember being 6 years old and saying, "Mommy, what's on my face?"
You had a rash?
I had sores. I had welts on my nose and on my lips.
When you talk about your father abusing you, you say, in my memory. Does that mean that there's a possibility that it didn't happen?
I think it's always hard for children to talk about abuse because it is only memory. But I didn't carry around a tape recorder. I didn't chisel anything in stone. And I think that's part of why people don't talk about abuse, because anybody can look and say, well, how do you know for sure? And it's one of the most painful things about it. You don't.
There's a place for us, a time and place for us. Somehow, someday, somewhere.